Hey, happy holidays, well into our season. Today we have a Funko Games sponsored review. We're going to be taking a look at their National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation game. Not to be confused with the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Twinkling Lights game that we looked at last year. This one was a sort of a tile matching game set where you just had to collect cards based on matching certain colors. This is going to be a little bit different. We'll get into what makes it a little bit different. Let's start by taking a look at the box. As you can see, it's already winning me over with this ugly sweater motif it's got going on. It's pretty neat. You got Eddie's camper there on the front. Then on the back, you have that sort of classic looking moose head cup that Clark drinks out of in the one scene. So it's pretty cool. And then you can see all the cards on here also kind of have a sweater look to them. So that's pretty interesting in how they're going to factor into it. There's going to be dice involved, so that's kind of curious, but we'll figure out more as we get into this. So let's take a look at what's in the box right now. All right, so we're just going to open a box here. Try our shaking method, try to get this thing open. All right, let's get that nice suction here. Okay, we'll start off. We have our instruction sheet at the top. Only 3 pages here. The first one's just a cover, so it seems like it's going to be pretty easy to learn. The game says it only takes 20 minutes to play, so it shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 minutes to learn, which is always good. On the inside cover, you have that final scene of the film where they launch the Santa sleigh and the reindeer from the gas explosion over the moon, so that's kind of cool. They captured that in there, just a little bit of fan service. It looks like we have some kind of playing area right here. Ugly sweater on both sides, Eddie's camper again on this side. On the inside, we have our deck of cards, which are going to be essential to play. Then we have that moose head we saw on the back. So it is a little moose head cup. That's pretty cool. And then we have our dice. That's really it. Not much else going on there. So easy. Looks like it's going to be easy setup and easy cleanup. Again, appreciate that these are in little baggies. These are easy to get lost over the years, I would say. And then with the moose here, it's just a little protected as well. I don't think you'd lose this, but nice to know that they're taking care of it. The cards are going to have a nice form-fitted area to return after you're done playing and opening them. So it'd be easy for travel, easy to pack this thing up and put it away. But let's open it up, set it up, and take a look at that. Okay, so setup was really easy. All we're going to have is 5 decks of cards, all color-coded here. You can see they're just various moments from the film. Well, we have a snowflake, which is just symbolic of the season, I guess. Present, I recall the scene where Clark was hiding presents in the attic. Same with the film reel there on the top left. The oversized Christmas tree and the moose cups. So you could play up to 5 people. Each person just takes a deck. Next we have that moose tumbler with the dice inside. That will be used for rolling to determine gameplay. And then your discard board, where cards will go after they're played. So that's really it for setup. Very easy. Only took about 10-15 seconds to read the instructions and get this set up. We're going to pick 2 decks for this game just as an example. So we'll go with the Christmas tree and the moose. And then we'll attempt our first round of play. This game is turn-based. Each player is going to take a turn rolling the dice. And they're going to be looking for dice that allow them to draw cards from their decks. And the objective is to get either runs or sets. Runs would be sequential, I think 1 through 6. Set would be just multiple of the same number or even singular of the same number. At the end of a turn, you're just going to discard into the discard pile. And the object is to discard all your cards after they're played. So we'll do a sample round here where we're just going to roll the moose dice. Okay, we got a whole bunch of blanks. They don't do anything for us here. And we have 2 of these hats. These are Clark hats, and they let us play our cards. So we would just draw 2 cards here. We got a number 4, and we get another number 4. This is Eddie emptying out his RV. And in this case, we have a set. And now our option here is to continue rolling these dice, or we could stop right now and discard these 2 cards. In this case, because we don't have anything negative against us here, we would keep going. So What would be negative is if we got these Cousin Eddie symbols here, which are his weird looking hat from the movie. These, when you get 3 of them, your turn is immediately over and you don't get the discard, so you'd be stuck with your cards for that round. So you'd want to strategically play it out. If these started popping up, that you might want to wait until another turn. But at this point, we're going to roll. Okay, so we got 2 Cousin Eddies. These stay on the board. You're not allowed to use these dice. And then in addition to that, we have another Clark hat. So that would allow us to pull another card. So a 3 here. And then we have this Wreath bonus. Now the Wreath bonus lets you pull another card and then discard a card immediately. So in this case, we could just pick any one of these cards. So if we had something that fell out of sequence, like if we had a 2, we could choose to discard that. But right now we're going to end our turn because I don't want to risk getting another Cousin Eddie. And we're going to choose to discard a set. So we're going to take these 2 4s and we're going to discard them. And that would be the end of our turn. And then it would alternate to the player on our right. So on to imaginary player 2. He's going to get the roll now. So you see we got another assortment of Clark hats and then 1 Cousin Eddie. As always, these are just restocked over to the side here. You can't use that die anymore. And if you get 3, your turn's immediately over. That means no discarding, no further playing. So we would get to take out 3 cards in this instance. So we have number 1. And look at that, number 2. We have a great shot here of Clark driving the tree back at the beginning of the film. Clark on the snow sled with the industrial solvent on there. And then another number 1. So we'd have a set there. Since we only got 1 Cousin Eddie, we'll give it another roll. Not worried about losing it at this point. So we get a 2nd Cousin Eddie and then 3 more hats. So we would draw 3 more cards. Get another 1. Another 1. And a 6. So at this point, I wouldn't want to risk a 3rd Cousin Eddie because we have 4 number 1s. So we would end our turn and we would just discard 4 number 1s. And that gives us the lead so far. So all these dice, including the Eddies, would get scooped up and they get returned back to the cup again for the next player to go. So back with player 1, we'll try to show you a couple of different combinations here of what can happen. So these dice come out. Again, we have a couple of basics, a Cousin Eddie, and that Wreath bonus. So we would be drawing another number 3, another number 3, a number 2, and a number 2. Then we also get that Wreath bonus, so 1 more. Another number 2. So we have the option of discarding 1 right now or not. We could save it, depends on how you want to play the strategy. Other than that, we would be able to roll all these dice again, except for the Cousin Eddie. So I'm going to roll 1 more time. We get a 2nd Cousin Eddie and a 3rd Cousin Eddie. So this didn't work out for us. Our turn is immediately over here. We can't discard any of this massive amount of cards we collected. But you'll notice here there's something we haven't seen before, and this is the Clark bonus card. Now the Clark bonus card allows you to take another card and then you could discard either a set of numbers or a sequential run of numbers. Run again is at least 3 numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or any combination of 3 sequential numbers. But that would allow you to do that without ending your turn. The only other time you could do this is when you'd end your turn. You could do a set or a run, but the Clark bonus will allow you to do that. But unfortunately, in this case, we got 3 Cousin Eddies, so the turn is over and play goes back to the other player. Hoping our luck is a little better over here in player number 2. We roll and we see we got 1 Cousin Eddie, but we got 4 Clark hats. So it would allow us to draw 4 more cards. Another 6, hoping up with our set there, another 6, and another 6. I swear I shuffled these. And a 5, which is that very dry turkey. So I think we've seen just about all of them at this point. But they're all going to be different iconic moments from the film, so that's pretty cool. We only got 1 Cousin Eddie. I know it didn't work out last time, but we're going to give it a risk here and do another roll. Okay, so this time we got another card pull. So we'll just see what we get there. We get another number 5. And then we get that Clark bonus. So the Clark bonus allows us to take another card, which is another number 5, and discard a set. So in this instance, we're going to discard all these 6s. Put them over here. And we only got one Cousin Eddie, so it wouldn't hurt us to keep rolling at this point. Well, it could hurt us if we end up getting 2 right here. And we did not. So we get a second one, but we got 3 more cards. And you could see just strategically sometimes how you could really help build yourself up a deck here. And then we got one more bonus, Clark bonus, which allows us to get another card. And then we get the discard. So we're going to use it to discard these 4. And then I'm going to end my turn and discard these 5s. And you can see us pulling way ahead of the other player at this point, just from our luck of the roll and our decision on what to discard or what to hold. So one other feature I didn't get to show you here is the wild card. And now this could either be used to make a set of numbers, or it could be used to make a run or a sequence here, like 2, 3, 4. It's the dog Snots from the movie. And there's 1 per each deck. This just happened to be at the bottom of the deck. So this would help you complete a run here. Now, if you play all your cards, like you saw us get stuck before with the Cousin Eddie, and you have nothing further to draw, your turn still continues as normal. You're going to have to roll every time, because that would determine whether you get a bunch of Eddies and your turn's over, or if you get to play. You can still use the Clark bonus and then wipe out a section without ending your turn, and the Wreath bonus to wipe out a single card at the end of a draw. But you could call these sets, even if it's just 1-4. You could just discard 1-4. You don't need at least 2, but you do need at least 3 when you do a sequence like this. So that wild card could help you finalize that set if you're trying to do that, and take out more than 1 card at a time, or you could end your turn and just take out 1 card. So you're just going to have to think about how you can maximize your use of a Wreath bonus or a Christmas bonus, and then just determine basically how else you're going to want to play with these wild cards to maximize the amount of cards you get off in a turn before discarding. And once all your cards are discarded into the pile, the game's over and you win. So that's it. I don't want to berate it. It's a quick game. It's easy to learn and play, so don't want to spend too much time showing you the gameplay. It just takes away some of the fun, I think, of it. Glad they did another National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation game. This is my favorite Christmas movie. I think it's the best Christmas movie. I know a lot of people will argue Christmas Story is better. Don't want to get into that, but this is a great classic film. The Twinkling Lights game was great. That focused more on the light aspect of the story. This has some other story elements to it. I think it's fun. It's a little bit more chill. Although it doesn't say it, it feels more like a party game than the other game did. So I'll throw it into that category. Definitely recommend it for this holiday season. Make a great gift. Make a great thing to do spending time with family this year. So check this out. We'll have some links up for it if you want to purchase one. It's out in stores right now. You can pick it up at Target. You can pick it up on Amazon. Easy to find. Not too expensive. I think it retails around $19.99. So great gift if you're a fan of the movie, or if you're just a fan of holiday games. It checks both boxes. Really easy to learn, really easy to play, and quick turnaround. So if you're not very patient on games, this is perfect then. So that's all. We'll add this to our gift guide. Like I said, we'll be updating the gift guide throughout the season. Stay tuned for more reviews. We're continuing anime season as we just wrapped up anime month, so we have a lot more surprises in store for you. We have some non-anime items you'll be pleased to see as well. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some really awesome things we want to show you. So just stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll see you guys next time.